Today's topic, we are discussing character building, so stay tuned for some awesome information. Hello, welcome to Creators Dementia. It is me, your favorite person in the whole entire world that does podcasts without any funding. Yay. It's fine. I still enjoy it. In today's Creators Dementia episode, we are going to kind of mix, combine cosplay and book writing, because both the thing that we are talking about today, or I am talking about today, deals with both of them, because you got to create your characters. So this is Character Creation Day. I'm not actually calling it that, but it sounded fun. But anyways, welcome back to Creators Dementia. I am your host, your awesome adventurer of the imaginary world, or worlds, Bradley. Hi, how are ya? Hope you're doing good. It is Thursday today. I keep getting my days mixed up, so that's what's fun. Quick updates about the life before we get started. I know this has become a routine thing for me, because I hope you guys want to keep up with me as much as you want to keep up with the podcast. So I have been writing. I've been writing on Legion's Dawn a lot. I've made myself write at least 700 plus words a day. Unfortunately, for the past couple days, I have not been able to get on my computer because of pure exhaustion. My work has demanded my presence, which is fine because I like making money. You gotta have it to survive, unless you literally live off the grid, have your own land, and live out in the woods, and have your own livestock. But other than that, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I have been working so much. I'm trying to make some money. We're trying to save up money for a home. We'll get out of this little duplex here, and hopefully one day you will see a different background behind me, to where it is our actual home on some actual land, where my kids can go outside and just roam across a big old yard and actually have a little fun without having to worry about these cars driving up and down this little road here that's in front of the duplex. So yeah, that's fun. But I would love to actually let my kids just go roaming free out in the yard, out in the middle of the country. That would just be so nice and so lovely. But yes, I have been working a lot. I've been writing on Legion's Dawn. I'm hoping to start writing back on Zed's Apocalyptic soon. I don't know, I'm stuck with it, but Legion's Dawn is flowing pretty good. Hopefully that book, I'll have the rough draft done within a month, and hopefully get the book released this year, along with Zed's Apocalyptica, if I can actually get my butt in gear and write on the last of the trilogy. So yeah, I just gotta manage and work my butt off. Awesome news. There was a Honest Faces TV show promo release. So if you pay attention to any of my social media, you would have seen it by now. I can fully tell you that my character's name is Cedric Masters, and he is going to be awesome. I can't give you no more details than that, because the show has not actually been recorded yet, but rehearsals have started, and filming hopefully will start soon. So fingers crossed that it's just going to be an amazing time. We're all going to have so much fun. But the cast release has been made. Teaser trailer is out there. And in the beginning of the trailer, a girl is kidnapped, which is Alex, the main character. It shows her bound and tied in a single room. And then it shows all of the main characters' faces looking at the camera. And you actually have to decide who done it, or guess who done it. I not really decide, because your decision isn't really what's going to make the show, but it would be awesome. But yes, you have to, I guess, you can guess on which one of us is the actual kidnapper. So I can finally say that it is a mystery show, and it is going to be fantastic. But yes, and I don't think there's any more updates in my current life right now. No, I do believe that is it. So let's get down to the main topic of this episode: Creators Dementia, character building. Now, with character building, You have to do it with all the imagination that you can muster. And I know sometimes it is difficult to imagine your character completely, but the thing is, if you do a kind of like a character interview, you can literally get into their mindset. So as I write books and create my characters, I try and, figure out exactly who they are. It would be nice if I actually went into a deeper aspect of each character, and maybe I wouldn't get so stuck all the time. But I also do this with my cosplay. So that's why I'm bringing the two together. Like in Legion's Dawn, one of the main characters' name is Belial, which is also Reaper. And he started off actually as a cosplay, and people liked it so much they asked me if I would ever decide to turn his story into a book, and that's what I have done, which is Legion's Dawn, with a bunch more characters added to it. But if you ever get stuck with trying to create characters, you can always do what is called a character interview. And I ask questions such as what your character wants, what are your character's needs, your character's personality traits, how your character thinks, how your character feels, what big events are in your character's life and backstory, and your character's quirks. Now, these are just like, the simple interview questions that you literally ask anybody to try and figure them out. Maybe they can be your friend, or maybe they'll be your enemy. And, with these questions, you can literally figure out the in-depth aspects of the character that you are trying to bring to life, which would actually help the reader imagine your character being brought to life. So that would completely bring your book to another level. And, I really wish I would have done this long before. Of course, the characters in Zeds, they're based on people I know, so I know most of these already with all them characters. But with Legion's Dawn, I threw in characters to make the book better, and I did not really know all these things. And then as I started writing further in the process, that's when I started figuring out all the answers to these character interview questions. So it actually really helps. So I honestly recommend to ask yourself these questions before you start writing and your book, so that way if you're actually stuck, you can literally get into the mindset of your character and figure out exactly what they would do and how they think about certain situations that you will put them in. Yes, you will put them in, because you are the god of that book, because you are creating a world and creating people. So yes, ask interview questions. It really helps. You can jot the answers down. That way, if you ever need a reference, if you put them in a situation and you're like, well, they really wouldn't act like that, then you can go back to your overview of the character interview questions and be like, okay, so I need to change this up a bit to actually fit the complete aesthetic of your character. So I recommend doing the character interview questions, and once again, they are what does your character want, what does your character need, your character's personality traits, how does your character think, how does your character feel, what big events are in your character's life and backstory, and what are your character's quirks. All these things will make up your character, so you can decide exactly how they would completely move throughout your story. Now, there's also many different ways to really know your character, and different ways to completely get into their head. And I recommend, like I said, doing everything you can do before you start writing, so that way you don't have to always question yourself if it is your character's complete aesthetic in all these little things that you're going to put them through. So also you can learn a enormous amount of details about your character, and different little features that your character has can actually bring out their personality, and also bring out the imagination in your reader, or the person that's watching your cosplay videos, if you make them, or your cosplay photos if they like looking at them. You can all this stuff will literally can actually help you overcome writer's block. Like I know there's one part in Legion's Dawn. The character's name is Sebastian, and I actually have him talking to a mortal that, and also Sebastian is a demon. By the way, a demon assassin. Is that how you say it? He's a demon that's an assassin. He's not assassinating demons, but he is a demon assassin. But I put him in this little situation where he's talking to a mortal during an autumn festival, and Sebastian has come to Earth many times to look for artifacts for Lucifer, and I kind of figured, when I was writing, I was putting him as if like he's never seen an autumn festival before, so I think I need to go back and change that just enough to where it actually fits. But I have him like asking why kids are walking around in costumes and getting candy out of people's trunks, which is called trunk or treat. But if I keep Sebastian the way he's supposed to be, then he should already know this. So I do believe I'm going to have to go back and change that because it does not make sense with his character. And if I would have actually thought about it before I wrote it, maybe okay, sorry. I accidentally stopped recording. My finger hit the space bar. That's nice. But to complete the thought, I don't know exactly where I got to, but in order for Sebastian to be the character that he is, and if I would actually done these interview questions and had overlook of exactly what I'm trying to portray him to be, maybe I wouldn't actually have to go back and change what I wrote on that specific scene. But now I do, because it doesn't make sense. So yeah. It really helps to do them interview questions. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, if you're trying to figure out their actual appearance, now there's 8 simple questions that you can literally ask yourself and jot down reference to, so that way you can once again get deeper into your character and your readers can visualize your character. And if you're like me, sometimes you like the reader to visualize their own version of a character, but it still needs to have physical aspects that they can place together, because you don't want the reader to picture someone being bulky and muscular with no neck type deal if you're trying to if you are seeing your character as a scrawny little beanpole. And sometimes that can happen. Or if you want someone to picture your character as a female, but they're actually picturing a male because you didn't explain it properly, that can just be a whole issue. But 8 questions that, you can ask yourself about your character's physical appearance and write down the answers to, so that way it'll be a lot more descriptive, is, how do they actually style their hair? What kind of clothes do they wear? Do they wear makeup? And if they do, what kind? You don't have to get into the specific brands of makeup unless you are trying to literally, what's a way to say this? You can get into the specific makeup designs or, companies, because that can establish, certain, levels of wealth or certain levels of, what's the word I'm looking for? Cockiness, confidence, anything like that. You can if you want, but you don't have to. If you say they wear blue eyeshadow, then I'm honestly going to think that they're just a tad bit eccentric, and like to be vibrant. Or if you tell them that they wear black eyeshadow, then I kind of see them as a little selective and kind of introverted. I don't know why, but that's just what I see. You can also ask, do they consider themselves fat or skinny, built, athletic, disproportioned, many different things that, you see your character. It'd be nice to actually bring that to life inside the book about your characters, so that way people can see the same thing you're seeing if you want them to see that. You can also kind of bring out their nationality. Are they Indian? Are they Asian? Are they American? Are they African American? Are they Indian? Are they Russian? All these things can really put someone in the character in perspective. Because there was one time I was creating creating a character. Oh my goodness, I wish I could speak right. I was creating a character and I was wanting him to be Irish. So I literally went to an Irish Facebook group and asked them how they pronounce words. But the thing is, I write in English. I know Ireland, has the English language, don't get me wrong, but so instead of trying to enunciate, all right, hold on. I'm a little bit country. My country accent does come out. Sometimes I'll say y'all. A lot of times I'll say y'all or over yonder, things like that. But if you put that in a book, it's going to say it's misspelled, or people's not going to understand exactly what you're saying because some people don't know these words. And I'm not saying all people don't know these words. I'm just saying some. You can always just say they talk in a Southern Kentucky country accent. Some people know what you're talking about. Or if you say they talk into a Dallas, Texas Southern accent, a lot of people know what you're talking about. So you don't have to do the exact pronunciation of each word of how someone would say it. You can just establish their nationality and people can kind of get it in their head exactly what they would sound like. You can also ask if they have any birthmarks. I've seen some people that have like the big red and purple skin tone. That's a big old birthmark, or just a hidden one that no one can see. It can help you get into the mindset. It doesn't necessarily help the reader if you don't go into broad aspects about it, but it can help you figure out exactly what they look like. Or if you want the birthmark to be apparent, then place it somewhere where the whole entire public can see, and the reader will be like, oh, okay, they got a birthmark on their face or on their arm, their hand, their cheek, their forehead. Either way, you can, if they don't have a birthmark, that is completely fine as well. You can also talk about their skin tone. Are they dark skin, light skin? Are they red? Or, it helps the reader picture exactly, if they've been out in the sun too long, or if they don't get any sun at all. Kind of like vampires, they're always white and pale. In Twilight, they're sparkly in the sunlight. But, when Bella touches Edward's hand, yes, I have seen Twilight. If Bella touches Edward's hand, he's very cold and he's very white. He's very pale. He's almost albino. It helps people picture, helps the readers picture exactly what they look like and, their actual habits. If they don't go out in the sun, if they're not, dark skin toned with a tan, then they're probably not going out in the sun that much. They could be a shut-in, a gamer, a complete introvert, someone who's a germaphobe or who is scared of the outside. There's many different things people can take from the skin tone. And the 8th question could be, what's their face shape like? Do they have like a big round head? Do they have a square jawline? Do they even have any jawline? All these things can help the reader visualize what your character looks like and can actually visualize what your character has actually been through. Some people with constant exposure to radiation or even sunlight or a tanning bed, skin could be leathery, skin could be melting, skin could be wrinkled if they are old age. Like I said, it can open up a whole new broadened world of different ways to actually see your character, and it'll help the readers visualize what your characters look like. Now we're going to go through 13 more questions about characters, backgrounds, and lifestyles. So you can, and this kind of goes with nationality, but where was your character born? Most of my characters are born in a familiar spot, kind of like me. I base them mostly out of Kentucky because I'm familiar with Kentucky. Of course, I had a character from Ireland. I did a little research on Ireland, so. But if you can establish where they are born, then you can do some research if you are not from that place, and you can get like a visualization of their lifestyle, and then your readers can get the same thing. You can ask yourself who their parents are. What kind of parents were they? Were they wealthy parents, poor parents, abusive parents, loving parents, humble parents? Many different parents out there. Were the parents divorced? Were they together full time? Did the parents cheat on each other? Did the parents never go out? Did the parents always go out? Like I say, if you can establish who your character's parents are, you can get a lot from them as well. And then another question is, where do they live? That's same as, it's a lot like where they were born, if they actually stayed to the place that they were born. But, where they live can be a whole different story. Someone born in Russia but lives in America, they could have adapted to the American lifestyle but still have the strong Russian accent. There's different ways to actually explore the character from the point of where they're born and where they live. Did they stay where they were born? It's just a whole different aptitude. I think that's the right word. Maybe not. I don't know. What do they do for a living? What's their job? What's their career? It's like me. I am an assistant manager. I am also a writer. I am a amateur photographer, amateur actor, and a podcaster, cosplayer. I'm all these things. So there's many different things that I do that you can literally tell about me just by the jobs and the career I work. And I'm also a DoorDasher now, even though I haven't gotten a single order because where I live, they don't DoorDash that much. There's only 2 restaurants here that do DoorDash, and nobody is doing it. And like my dash just keeps getting paused because nobody's using DoorDash around here. I'm going to have to go to like a bigger city just to make a little bit of extra money through DoorDash. Now, another question is, what are their greatest achievements? Did they win a lot of trophies when they were in high school? Did they not win any trophy? Did they participate in school events? Did they just stay at home all the time and not achieve anything? All these things can prove to someone that they're outgoing. They can, they're confident, or maybe they're just nervous, do not like people. If someone wins a Nobel Prize, the right way, maybe they're trying to actually seek peace or change the world, innovation. Or if someone gets a ribbon for participation, maybe they just put a little something somewhere and didn't try, or they actually did try, but, their name was not a household name. So, many different ways to see that one. What's the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to them? This question can actually put you into what would be the things that they try to avoid. Say they use the bathroom on themselves during PE class. Maybe they try to avoid physical sports, or they try to avoid PE altogether. It would literally allow the reader to see how they react in situations. Maybe they fell down in public trying to roller skate. Maybe not touch any roller skates ever again. They avoid skate parks and roller rinks. Many. I keep saying that. I'm going to quit saying that. Anyways, if they search, say if you were to actually look for their name on Google, do a name search, what would pop up, if anything? If you do one on me, you'll see Zed's Rising, you'll see my Facebook, you'll see a bunch of other things. And then, if people ever actually Google me, they'll see that I'm a writer and all that fun stuff. So, those are achievements as well. Yay. So yeah, if you Google search your character's name, what would they find? What would you find? I don't know why he done that. Another question. When was the first time they fell in love, if they ever actually fell in love? My character Reaper actually is in love, but it's not with another MC. That's just too much. I see that all the time, which I'm not hating against it at all because it works, but I try to do something different with Reaper in Legion's Dawn, and there's a reason he's in love with this certain person, and it works. But you figure out what kind of person your character is by the type that they are attracted to, or who they fell in love with. I'm in love with my wife, and she supports me in everything, and that kind of rebound reciprocation. I tried to say that right. Literally lets me know exactly what I'm looking for and who I try to surround myself with. You know, a supportive cast. What is their biggest secret? Now, that could be a good one. Biggest secret. So, you know, if someone's trying to hide something in particular, you know, say someone murdered somebody and they don't want nobody to find out. And, you know, technically they're probably a sociopath, or a scared person that does not want to go to jail. You know, they can be easily frightened by just seeing a random cop car sitting somewhere. You know, it can really bring out the personality of a person if they have a huge secret that you know, and maybe later on tell the readers. What is their greatest regret? So, you know, it could be an event that they try to avoid. You know, all events related. And I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling. So honestly, with character building, there's so many things that you can do. So many, you know, interview questions. Do a complete model investigation of your character. Put them in situations where you try and figure out exactly how they would handle it, you know, and with all those interview questions, you can figure out their entire personality, and so can the reader, because if you know it, then they should be able to know it. So character building is very important. Do not do character building lightly. Even your side characters, it's really nice to get into their heads and figure out exactly how they would act. You know, in games you got non-playable characters, and you know the only difference between them is either their clothes or skin tone, you know, and then even then you can decide maybe who or what they are, but you don't have enough detail to completely go into their lifestyle. But with your MCs, you know, you can really dig in. So even your side characters need some type of personality. You know, figure them out too. You know, if your main character is like in a pinch and you got a side character just roaming around, what if they actually jump in and help for the moment, and then boom, they either just disappear altogether or actually become part of the team. You never know. But it's always fun to discover different quirks and attributes and personalities of your character, because, you know, that's what makes a book good, is your characters, and that's what makes your cosplays good. And I know I haven't mentioned cosplays almost this entire episode, but all this does reference to cosplays as well. Because I do the exact same thing with my cosplay characters as I do with my book characters. So yes, do not take character building lightly. Discover who they are, kind of like how you always try to discover who you are. You know, we go through this entire life trying to figure out what our purpose is, what we will be known for, and you know, your characters want the same thing. You want your readers to want the same thing about your characters. The more they get invested with them and the more they know about them, the better off you will be, because people will congratulate you or hate you depending on the character, which both are awesome in its own weird way. But that is it for this episode of Creators Dementia. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'm hoping pretty soon I'll get some more interviews in here with some of the cast of Honest Faces, and maybe have a little more livelihood to this podcast. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me. I'm on YouTube and Podbean, and tune in and listen notes every Saturday. Podbean's always on at 8 a.m. unless I hit the wrong button on the scheduling thing. I've done that before. And I'm always at 2 o'clock on YouTube in my Hidden Hollow Production YouTube channel. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate you listening. I'm sorry if it felt like I was rambling. I need to actually start writing a script at some point, so maybe I will not sound like a babbling brook. One day, I will have my stuff together. Thank you, guys. I love you all. I hope you have a good weekend. It's getting hot, so drink plenty of water. There's my bit of advice for today. And if you are interested in any of my books, please let me know. I quit posting the links because, I don't know, it's just weird with the Amazon links to books, because it's not like Amazon.com/Zeds Rising is like a bunch of freaking numbers and letters, and I'm just like, okay. People are probably not going to pay attention to that. But yeah. So, thank you guys. Have a great day. I will talk at you soon. Look, I'm a zombie.